Thanks so much for being here. My name's Dana Friedenfeld, and I'm a member of the Peekskill Conservation Advisory Council. I'm honored to welcome you on behalf of the Conservation Advisory Council and the City of Peekskill as we celebrate the launch of our community's first ever 24/7 food scrapping composting set. So this site is more than just a bin. It's a meaningful step to a more healthier and sustainable Peekskill. By expanding access to composting, we're reducing landfill waste, cutting emissions, and giving every resident an opportunity to contribute to climate action right here in our city. So you will hear brief remarks this morning from several key partners and leaders. We'll begin with remarks from Mayor McKenzie, followed by City Manager Matt Alexander, Assembly Member Dana Levenberg, Director of Public Works Chris Gross, and our own Conservation Advisory Council Chair Jan Malilo. With that, I'm pleased to welcome Mayor McKenzie to this podium.
Good morning, everyone. It's a bright, beautiful morning here in the city of Peekskill, and we are so excited to kick off this program. I want to say thank you to the people who really made this happen, which is the CAC with Jan and Mrs. I call her Barthemus because that's just how I grew up, but Kay, and the council for pushing this forward, and all of the DPW for making this happen. These are important steps for us to get to be more sustainable within the city of Peekskill. And what better way to begin than being able to get rid of food scraps in a way that's going to compost and bring it back and reuse it in the community. So it's exciting times here. We have a long way to go, but these steps, as you keep going forward, makes us more and more sustainable and moving in the right direction. So thank you to everybody. We really appreciate it. I know we don't say it enough, but we see what you're doing and we appreciate what you're doing, and we're hoping that our residents are going to really partake in this and really learn that this is an important thing for us to do as a community. So thank you. And Matt Alexander's next.
Good morning, everybody. You know, I just want to touch on one of the most exciting aspects of this project for me was how the CAC got all wheels turning in the same direction and did it in a way that I just want to say this for Kay Barthelmez amongst others, but there's a level of enthusiasm, cheerfulness, we can do it attitude that comes along with the CAC that Jan is promoting every day with me. You know, we have meetings where you excite all levels of government, and we've got Chris Gross and his DPW staff willingly, cheerfully helping and making sure that we're able to get this going. We've got our PR group, Events to Remember, working on this as well. Jesse Girola is here. Just all wheels are turning, going in the same direction, and working on reducing, reusing, and recycling. And that is such a positive thing, and it's such a joy to work with an organization like the CAC because you really inspire us and keep us going. So with that being said, I would like to, Dana Levenberg, Assemblywoman Dana Levenberg, thank you.
Wow, thank you. This is so exciting. It's a great day when cities and municipalities choose to make it easier for people to take food scraps out of their waste stream. Huge shout out to the leadership here, to the mayor, to the manager, to the entire council for agreeing to move this project forward here in the city of Peekskill. You are among friends within the county of Westchester. Many of your neighbors have started food scrap collection, and as town supervisor before I was an assembly member in the town of Ossining, that's something that project that we took on after going to see how they were doing it in Scarsdale and Greenberg, and learning how we can not only make sure that there's ways to take food scraps out of our solid waste stream, but also to educate the public about why it's something that we should be doing, how we can do it easily, and how we can then take that soil and put it back into our earth and work for us. So one of the really nice things is these compost give back days, which I'm hoping that you're going to also take up at some point, where you bring some of that compost back from sustainable management and let people who have been participating in the program get some of the fruits of their labor, I guess you could say, back. So when you easily separate out your food scraps from your waste stream, you're going to see your garbage going way, way down. And we're so grateful to the County of Westchester for making it easier for municipalities to participate in this program and making it less expensive for them to do so than if each individual municipality had to take it up on their own. And of course, the state has put funding behind this, and we're fighting for even more funding for our food scrap collection in the EPF funding in this year's budget. So to be continued. Hopefully we can give you good news about the state budget by next week, fingers crossed, and we can report that we have more money in the Environmental Protection Fund for programs like food scrap recycling. And I was saying to Chris Gross, who's the head of your DPW, that I see that you have a couple of bins out there for collecting, which is so great because people can see them, drive by them, but that's going to block the driveway very, very soon because people are going to be so excited about doing this food scrap recycling that you're going to have a whole line of bins, and you're going to have to figure that out. I know I have plenty of room here at this site, so it's going to be great. Congratulations again to the City of Peekskill, to the CAC for all of your incredible work, your advocacy, and getting this going here in Peekskill. And I am going to turn it over to Chris Gross. I don't know why I can't find that easily, but Chris, come on up. Head of the DPW.
So before Chris speaks, I just want to acknowledge our Common Council that is here. I forgot to do that. So we have Deputy Mayor Patricia Riley, Councilwoman Talbot, Councilman Fassett, and Councilman Dwight Douglas over there. And I want to acknowledge that our County Legislator Colin Smith is here. So, Mr. Smith, would you want to say a few words? Or?
Good morning, everyone. And this is an exciting day to be here in the City of Peekskill, as our Assemblywoman just so eloquently stated about the importance and the need for our food scrap recycling. And whenever I hear the term food scrap, for some reason, because I'm I grew up in the 80s, I think of Back to the Future. Right? Remember the movie at the end where he takes the banana peel and dumps it in the flux capacitor and flies off? Anyway, so for those of you who remember that, but in you remember that, don't you, Madam Mayor? Yes, of course. Right, it was the crazy professor. But I say that in jest, obviously, but also because I think that as we move forward, we have to continually look for new ways, not only to reduce waste, but to reuse and recycle in a way that's going to be beneficial to everyone, not just helpful to the environment, but also beneficial to our citizens as well. So congratulations, Mayor, Council, City Manager, and all of the people who are here today on your team, Mr. Gross, on this achievement. And of course, the county stands ready to support you in any way that we can in this endeavor. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. My name is Chris Gross. I'm the Director of Public Works, and I just want to say a few words about the food scrap program. It's a wonderful program. I've had the unique perspective to be able to watch this grow really from kind of the beginning, but I want to give credit to where credit is due, and the council, along with the CAC, had the original idea, and we went and worked very closely with the county, and the county's been very good to work with. The county's been, we had an agreement that we had to sign with the county, and the cost is just very minimal, and it's well worth having the food scrap program here. They come every week and they pick up our food scraps for us. I want to give our own staff, the DPW, all the credit for putting up the signs and figuring out all the logistics of it. We had a recent change where we used to collect the food scraps right here at the gate. I'm sorry, at the building here, which is internal to this DPW site. And now the food scrap bins are out by the gate, so anybody can have access to it at any time. And talking with our sanitation foreman, who keeps it clean, keeps everything organized, there's been a significant increase in food scraps that have been picked up just because of that move, and that was a good move that was initiated by the CAC. I want to give credit to Mark Fetzer. He's our general foreman. He put together the plans and the idea of the details of the shed that's out by the gate, and also Joey Siniscauchi and Dan Soto actually built the shed itself. So they did a very, very nice job. Thank you. And okay, yep, thank you.
So at this time, I'd just like to invite Jan Malillo to speak. But before I do that, I would like to also acknowledge our sustainability coordinators, Janelle Kosharek and Emma Kamensky, and they have really provided the city with wonderful resources to connect to the CIC and to fulfill what the CIC wants to do. Jan, come on up.
Good morning, everyone. Today's ribbon cutting is a celebration of community. Many people came together to make our city healthier and more sustainable by expanding our composting program. Composting is an environmental, economic, and ethical win for all of us, and we are already seeing our residents' appreciation through increased participation in the program. The Conservation Advisory Council would like to recognize the efforts of the staff of the DPW, especially Director Chris Gross, Mark Fetzer, Daniel Soto, Joe Siniscauchi. So Mark designed Chris kind of told you already, but Mark designed it and Dan and Joe built it. And also Juan Martinez, John Curcio, and Brian Canero. Brian Curaton, I'm sorry, it's sanitation for me. We'd also like to thank the city manager, Matt Alexander, and his confidential secretary, Stephanie Romero, who's been extremely helpful in this process. The mayor, of course, deputy mayor, and members of the city council, but especially our current and past liaisons to the CAC, who are Dwight Douglas and Kathy Talbot, who really help us to get stuff done and to communicate. I'd like to thank the planning department, including Peter Irwin, and someone I feel like I could not live without anymore, Emma Kaminsky of the SEEP Partnership, as well as Janelle. And Anthony Carbone, kind of get it done guy all day, all the time, and I really appreciate his work at Sustainable Materials Management. And of course, our own members, who invested a great deal of time and effort into making this happen, particularly Kay Barthelms, and who was the tireless lead on this project, but also Elaine Kokoma and Lise Prone, who's the co-chair. I like to refer to those three as our founding mothers of the CAC. We wouldn't be here today getting any of this good work done without them. That's the truth. And finally, I want to thank our fairly new member, Dana Friedenfeld, for planning this wonderful ribbon cutting event. I believe it was me that tossed out the idea. I'm not trying to take credit, I'm just saying. I believe it was me who just kind of threw out the idea of, wow, it would be cute to have a ribbon cutting, not knowing the work that goes into an event like this. And so Dana has really worked hard to make it happen. So thank you, Dana.
So that concludes our speaking portion of the event. If all the speakers and the Common Council want to come up for a photo in front of the truck, that would be great. And then we'll all head to the ribbon, which is in front of the composting bins right out front.
So hello everyone, I'm here with our Director of DPW, Mr. Chris Gross, and we are at our new composting bins for food scrapping here in the city of Peekskill, which is down at our DPW site on Lower South Street. So Chris, can you tell folks what are acceptable items to do for the composting?
Okay, so for composting, some of the acceptable items are it's basically anything that is a food. Your fruits and vegetables, the meats, fish, shellfish, dairy products, coffee grinds, popsicle sticks, paper towels, tissues, napkins, cut flowers, tea bags, and things like that.
Can we do bones?
You can do bones.
Can we do shell from the shellfish?
You can do shell from the shellfish, yes.
How about papers? Napkins, that kind of stuff?
Yes, you
Paper
can.
towel?
Yes, you can. Yes. Yep.
When you say tea bags, can we do the staples that are included on the tea bags?
No, you can't.
So we need to put this in either a bin or a compostable bag to bring it down. Where can people find those items?
Those products, we have bins, 2 different sizes, and we have the compostable bags for both of those sizes up in the finance department at City Hall. That's 840 Main Street.
Do we know the cost?
The cost is minimal.
Okay.
I don't have them off the top of my head, but they are posted on the website. And you can also look at the DPW brochure. They're well worth the price, not costly, and it makes everything very organized. You can have a 2-gallon bucket that's sitting on your kitchen counter. There's also a 13-gallon bin also that if you have more item you can put in there. So it's well worth having. Or if you just take the bags, put them in the freezer, and then bring the whole bag down with the frozen items in them.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about what's not acceptable. So while you can bring all food items, there are some things that can't go in the bins. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what's not acceptable?
Sure. Any plastic bags, packaging, you can't put stickers or twist ties, rubber bands, anything that's not a food. Pet waste, baby wipes or foil. No plastic, glass, or metal. Those are recyclables. Yard trimmings, things like that are not. Medical waste and electronic waste. We have other avenues for those items.
So folks, we have a new compostable bin area here in Peekskill. It is right outside of DPW on Lower South Street. It is available to you 24/7. Please make sure you participate in this program to make us a far more sustainable city. We appreciate it, and we look forward to happy composting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.